Okay, so I would like to review the formulas for area and perimeter of rectangles and squares. Here in the rectangle, L is the length and W represents the width of a rectangle. In a square, try to draw a square there. The sides are all the same, so it's just represented with an S. S represents a side of a square. Now the formulas. For a rectangle, the perimeter could be width plus length, or combine like terms 2W plus 2L, or you could use the distributive property in 2 times L plus W. The formula for the area is length times width. Now, this is important. When you're finding perimeter, it's just units. When finding area, it's units squared. Any questions? Someone has a cell phone making a sound, it sounds like. Make sure it's turned off. And then just put it down over here so you can get it later. In letter A, it says find the perimeter and area. Here we have a rectangle. The formula A equals length times width. Substitution means you replace the length with the number 21 and the width with the 4. The answer is 84 centimeters squared. Make sure you have a 2. The 2 indicates that you are measuring squares. All right, area is all about measuring the number of squares in a shape. Now for the perimeter, 21 plus 4 is 25. 2 times 25 is 50 centimeters. Perimeter is a line that goes around the shape. It is just centimeters. That is one dimension. Whereas area is a square, and that would be 2 dimensions. And then I would cut this up into 21 pieces, and there should be 21 squares going this way. I'm not going to continue drawing it, but you would count how many squares for area. Any questions? Now let's look at our square. A equals S squared. That's the formula for the area of a square. Your substitution, A equals 8 to the second power. 8 times 8 is not 16, it's 64 meters squared. Now to find the perimeter of a square, it has 4 sides and they are all the same length. So you just take 4 times 8 and it's 32 meters. Are there any questions? Now it says draw each shape, find the area and perimeter. Well, you just draw. It doesn't have to, you don't have to measure it as 6 and 8. You can just, I'm going to say this one's 8, this one's 6 centimeters. Formula, length times width, substitution, 8 times 6. And don't forget to include centimeters squared. For the perimeter, it'll be 2 times 8 plus 6. So 2 times 14 will give you the answer 28 centimeters. And you will be counted off if you don't include your labels. Here we have another rectangle. And it's going to be 20 by 15. So our area formula, you have to write it down again. And it's centimeters squared. The perimeter, 2 times Any questions on this side? All right, on the other side, we are doing parallelograms. In a parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel, and opposite sides are the same length. B is the base, H is the height. The height is the distance between the two parallel sides. Now, if you cut this here and you take this piece and put it over here, it makes a rectangle. So it's basically the same thing. All right. Now, so the formula for a parallelogram is base times height. All right. Let's look at letter A. Your formula, A equals base times height. A equals. Now, this base is 16, and this is your height. The height is 7. So, and that's the slanty side. The slanty side is not the height. So we're going to take 16 times 7. So your area answer is going to be 112 inches squared. The perimeter, you're going to use the slanty side. It's going to be 8 plus 16 plus 8 plus 16. And when you add those together, you could have done 8 plus 16 times 2, and you would end up with, no, I don't think it's 28. 3 times 6, yeah, it is. 48, yeah. 48 inches. All right, let's look at the next problem. Now in this one, this is your base and this is your height. The height's the distance between your parallel lines. So when you substitute, you're going to have 4.5 times 2.1. And the answer to that will be did you get 9 4/45 meters squared? Now the perimeter is going to be 4.5 plus 4.5 plus 3. That's a 3 plus this is also a 3. So 15 meters. Any questions? Then on the bottom, it says draw each shape, find the perimeter and area of each shape. So go ahead, if you've not already done 1 and 2, you should be able to do them. And then we will start on the next page on Monday. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay.